Here's a showstopper lemon meringue cheesecake that your guests will absolutely love. We start with some digestive biscuits or graham crackers, 1.5 cups. Add to that 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and 98 grams of melted butter. Mix everything together until the cookies become a fine crumb and everything is moistened with the butter. You're gonna put the mixture in the bottom of a 9-inch springform pan, which is the kind of pan that you can remove the sides. You're gonna spread the cookie crumb evenly in the base. And then I also like to use a cup to really push everything firmly down. You can put the crumbs just on the base, it's more than enough. Let's set that aside and work on our cheesecake itself. We're gonna have 900 grams of cream cheese. I like to use Philadelphia because it's a high quality cream cheese. Add to that 2/3 a cup of sour cream, 1 cup of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice. I sometimes add to that citric acid, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix everything together until it's really smooth. Remember to have your cream cheese in room temperature and your sour cream and your eggs as well so they can blend nicely together. Then add 4 eggs, also at room temperature. Mix everything until it's really combined. I'm using the flat beater on the mixer so I don't incorporate a lot of air in the cheesecake. The batter is relatively liquid, as you can see here, but it's done, and we're gonna put it in the springform pan on top of the cookie crumb. Line the pan with some foil so you can avoid spills. You can also put a tray under that and bake in a preheated oven on 160 degrees for 1 hour. It should be slightly soft inside. Let's move on to the Swiss meringue. Until that cools, we're gonna use 4 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla. You're gonna move that to a double boiler, which is basically a pot with a little amount of water that is steaming. Make sure that the bowl you put on top is heat resistant and that the water is not touching the bottom of your bowl. You're gonna mix everything together until the sugar is completely dissolved or when the mixture reaches 70 degrees Celsius. Once that happens, I will remove the bowl from the double boiler and move it back onto the mixer. We're gonna keep mixing the egg whites with the sugar and vanilla until it completely becomes stiff peaks. This is what stiff peaks look like, and the Swiss meringue is done. Now for the lemon curd, we're gonna use the 4 egg yolks that we left over from the Swiss meringue, 135 grams of sugar. We're gonna use 80 ml of lemon juice, that's around 2 to 3 lemons, and 1 lemon zest. Mix everything together over the double boiler until the sugar is dissolved and it'll be a little bit thicker. Remove it when it's thickened, and you're gonna add 85 grams of softened butter that I've cut up into cubes, and keep mixing until the butter is completely dissolved. It will also thicken slightly, like it should coat the back of a spoon. So now I'm gonna put the cling wrap directly on the surface of the curd so it doesn't form a skin, and put it in the fridge until I need it. When you're ready to serve the cheesecake, run a knife around the edges of the pan so you can loosen it and remove the springform pan easily. I also use my cake lifter to remove the bottom tray from the cheesecake. It should come out nicely, and put it on a cake stand. The next step is applying the lemon curd. Put a generous amount and spread it all over the top of the cheesecake until the edges. As you can see, it also thickened more in the fridge. On top of that, we will add the Swiss meringue that we made. I put it in a container in the fridge until I needed it. I put large dollops of Swiss meringue all over and just spread it gently. You don't have to be accurate or try to make it beautiful. It really is nice to have it rustic looking, and when we torch it with the kitchen torch, it just makes it look a lot better. I use the back of the spoon to create a little bit more texture on the top of the cheesecake, so when I torch it, it just looks really nice. You can also use a broiler of your oven to put the cheesecake inside and brown the top. But using this kitchen torch is really fun, and I just love the final look. I hope you'll try this lovely recipe and enjoy.